What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this evening's late night agenda. I know it doesn't really work, does it? This evening and the words late night agenda, but that's the name of the show. You are very all right. Let's pretend that I haven't been on here for the last 15 seconds. I will just turn away, turn back, and we'll go again. Right. What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to this evening's late night agenda. I hope that you're all well. We are, of course, here to talk transfers, to talk Liverpool, but mostly to congratulate Mohamed Salah on booking his place and Egypt's place in the quarterfinals of the AFCON after a penalty shootout victory over the Ivory Coast. And seeing Wilfried Zaha bitching and moaning just lifts the soul a little bit, doesn't it? Especially when Mo wins. So when Mo wins, we all win. And there is a little Brucey bonus to this. You never like to see anybody missing a penalty in a penalty shootout. Of course you don't. But when it's a Manchester United centre-back missing a penalty in the penalty shootout, i.e. Eric Bailly, we all sleep a little bit better. We all feel a little bit happier, and the world's just a bit of a better place. They are the facts, my friends. They are the facts. Look, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's stream has been brought to you with thanks to our friends at Spitch. If you don't know what Spitch is, I'm going to let you know right now. Spitch is a new fantasy football manager game that allows you to prove your football knowledge against other managers and win a share of a fantastic 70 grand prize pool, or up to 70 grand prize pool every single week. Spitch offers games from multiple football leagues, including the Premier League, the Bundesliga, and of course the Champions. You can create a brand new lineup every match day, so you can play any weeks that you want, meaning you can put the game down and pick it up and still be with an equal chance of winning some of that prize pool every week. There are paid pitches and there are free pitches. It is entirely up to you which ones you use. Once a match day kicks off, you'll receive points based on things like shots, saves, assists, goals, all the usual stuff around your FPL or your manager games. There are a couple of caveats. You do have to be 18 years or over to play. You do have to be a resident of the UK. And when you are signing up, make sure you have your ID at hand so you can upload the picture and get it all sorted nice and quickly. The link to download Spitch is in the description below. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. As always, right, where do we want to start? Will we start bragging more about Mohamed Salah being just brilliant? Oh, look, there's the United fan in. Oh, God bless me, saying, where are we going? Where's that coming? Oh, he's better than all the Egypt centre-backs. Yeah, but you know what the difference is there, mate? You know them Egyptian centre-backs that you don't think are that good? They'll be playing in the quarterfinals of the AFCON, mate. So, you know, there is that. Once you have Mo, you've always got a chance. And look, I honestly think that on the balance of play from what I've seen in the game, I think Egypt deserved to go through. So yeah, Salah doing bits again. You know, just knock the man all you want, say what you want about him, but Mohamed Salah is, as their friends across the pond like to say, clutch as fuck. Right, ladies and gentlemen, we've loads to get through on this one. Tonight's show, by the way, the 8:45 show, will be on Twitch. So if you haven't given Anfield Agenda, let me just grab the snazzy button. If you haven't given Anfield Agenda a follow on Twitch, please do make sure to go over. I don't have the snazzy button working anymore. Make sure to go over to Twitch, give us a follow. I'll be on there doing a FIFA stream at 10 o'clock tonight as well. And the FIFA streams are going quite well, surprisingly. So yeah, loads of fun. I want to talk transfer news first. And I suppose the biggest story that I've seen is not that one. 1 second. I'm going through my own notes here. Sorry, bear with me. Right, this one. There's a couple of stories. One of them that caught my eye today is around Paulo Dybala. So we know that Dybala's contract is up at Juve at the end of the season, and while I still don't believe that Liverpool will make a move for Dybala, apparently our friends in Italy do believe that they will. So here's what I took from the Echo today. Liverpool are reportedly considering making a move for Juventus star Paulo Dybala if he leaves on a free transfer in the summer. The Reds have previously been linked with the Argentinian international, but rumours have intensified in recent months given the player's contract situation. According to reports in Italy, the Reds are studying, we're great at that, aren't we, the possibility of signing him at the end of the season. Dybala had previously agreed a €10 million per season deal, reports claim, but the Serie A club postponed negotiations after the January transfer window, until after the January transfer window. Sport Italia and Tudor Mercado Web now say that Liverpool are ready to pounce if an agreement cannot be reached and the player is available on a free transfer. I don't believe it. I'm calling bullshit. You can park this one up on Bullshit Island. This again screams to me of an Italian club in this scenario, i.e. Juventus, trying to make out like they are holding off the advances of the mighty Liverpool and that they will decide the situation with Dybala. That's my reading of this situation. Now look, we also know that Juventus reached an agreement with Fiorentina to sign Vlahovic, and that will probably take up a good chunk of their money. If my memory's right, I think that deal will reach around 75 million euro, there or thereabouts, for Vlahovic. And obviously with Chiesa now out for 7 months with his ACL, or at least 7 months, we wish him, of course, a speedy recovery. Yeah, this just, to me, just is more bullshit paper talk. I don't, in any way, shape or form, believe that Paulo Dybala is the type of player that Jurgen Klopp would want to bring to the football club. Nothing about the way this guy plays strikes me as the type of player Liverpool would want to bring in. That being said, I do think Dybala has the ability and the talent to be a good footballer. Just having watched what I've seen of him, he doesn't strike me as working in a Klopp system. That's my take on it. Not knocking the kid as a footballer. Certainly has some talent, Paulo Dybala. But it's more of a Spurs type signing for me than a Liverpool signing. So I don't believe that will really hold any interest in Dybala. And I would put this in the category of another one of those, it's because he's on a free contract. We're probably sniffing around. Maybe just ask him what he's asking for, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't see it happening, in all honesty. He just has flop written all over him for me if he moved to the Premier League. Which is harsh, I know, because I do rate Dybala. I just don't rate him in the Premier League. I don't think his style of football would translate across to English football. I think a move to Spain, staying in Italy, would probably be far more beneficial to Dybala. So yeah, I don't see it happening personally, but then again, this is just, one man's opinion. So take it, leave it. Yeah, do with it as you wish. Another bit of news today, and again, I'm sort of calling bullshit on this one, is that Liverpool are in race to sign Palmeiras wonder kid Endrick. You guys have probably seen this lad's name bandied about because he's 15 years of age. He already, I think, has a price on his head of about 40 million euro. Palmeiras are looking for him at 15 years of age. He has been rumoured to be the next great Brazilian thing. And I'm sure that he's a very good player. I'm sure he is. But a couple of things about this make me think Liverpool aren't going to get this deal done. Or I don't think any English club will get this deal done. I don't know if he'd be able to get a work permit for the kid. After England moving out of Europe and stuff, I don't know off the top of my head what the immigration laws are. I know there used to be a classification for a wonder kid, an undoubted world talent, somebody who is a prodigy, for want of a better phrase. And this Endrick guy could well be that. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I've watched Palmeiras a lot. But I do know that Barcelona are making a big move for this kid and are really trying to bring him in. And I'm sure that Real Madrid and other clubs in Spain will probably be doing the same. So this article goes on to suggest that Liverpool, United, Chelsea, City, Barcelona, PSG, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are all keen on the lad. They value him, as I said, at 40 million euro, and that's the fact that he's only 15 years of age. So, again, not a chance. Not a chance I can see him coming to England at 15. If he's going to move, it's most likely going to be to Serie A or to La Liga, in my opinion. But definitely one to keep an eye on from a footballing fan perspective, because this kid's name's been doing the rounds for a while now and has been touted as the next prodigy to come out of Brazil. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. Some say no way he's 15. No way we're signing him at 15, definitely. Craig, would you take someone like Hazard? No. Why would I take a shit Mo Salah? No. Hazard is... No, I'm not getting into it. No, I'm not doing it again because I land myself in trouble every time I talk about Eden Hazard. So I'll just pass on. I'm going to keep going with my news stories before I come back into the chat because I just want to get them out of the way before I forget. Right, Luis Diaz. So this is the one that I think most of you guys are probably tuning in to have a look at. We knew that Spurs were interested and had made an offer to Porto for Luis Diaz. And I don't know about you guys, but my heart is always lifted a little bit when I hear the phrase Spurs have been turned down because the player thinks that he could play at a higher level. It does make me smile. I'm still on the fence about Luis Diaz, if I'm being honest. Maybe it's because of my own ignorance, haven't watched enough of the kid. Certainly didn't blow me away in our games against Porto. But this article said Luis Diaz prefers a move to Liverpool amid interest from Spurs, according to reports. The London club had a bid rejected for the player, with Porto only willing to part ways if his release clause is met. Rumours in Portugal are circulating that Liverpool remain in the running for the player as he favours a move, elsewhere. Bola, who are, I believe, a Portuguese outlet, if my memory are correct, claims Diaz is not convinced by a move to Spurs as he believes he can reach a higher level. What he means there is he wants to play Champions League football regularly, and that's what I take it. And he's doing that at Porto, and he would do that at Liverpool, certainly, whereas Spurs could well qualify for the Champions League this season, but they're also Spurs, so they are a bit Spursy. Links to Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Manchester United. The report suggests Diaz is in no rush to make a decision on his future. A couple of people claim the Reds have not given up on the pursuit of the Colombian international, and the player is of less value to them at the moment, given he wouldn't be able to play in the Champions League. I don't know how big of a factor that should be, but I can certainly agree that it is a factor. So if Liverpool were to bring in somebody now to bolster their attacking options, realistically, yes, we are still in the title race. Certainly second favourite to Manchester City at this point. But we do know that we've a great chance in the Champions League. So we've a tie against Inter Milan away and home. And this lad wouldn't be able to play in it, Luis Diaz. So I can understand if that's one of the factors. I don't think it should be the only factor. I don't think it should be yes or no purely on that. But I can certainly see how, from Liverpool's perspective, if we were interested in him, and he's willing to play the long game, how we might wait until the summer. So, yeah, it does make some sense there. And look, it would be another excuse for Liverpool, wouldn't it, to say, well, we do like the guy, but we don't want to sign him now because he can't play in the Champions League for us. So, yeah, we'll wait and see what happens on that one. As I said, I'm trying to sit on the fence on Luis Diaz because I don't know enough about the guy. And what I have watched of him, and I would say I've seen 6 games of his, and that's the God's honest truth. In one of those games, I was impressed. The other 5, not really. But then again, it's not my opinion that matters, is it? It's those of the scouts and the recruitment staff. Love the FIFA video, Craig. When I saw the notification, I went on it quick. Love your content. Keep it up. Thank you, Mohammed. Back on there tonight, buddy, at 10 o'clock for another FIFA stream. And 2 games played, 2 wins for Craig in the Premier League on the FIFA streams after an 8-1 humiliation at the hands of Real Madrid in pre-season. Right, I think I've got one more story here to bring up before we dip into the chat. So this story goes on to say that AC Milan are set to rival Liverpool for Schalke defender. AC Milan will rival Liverpool for Schalke defender Malik Thiaw, according to reports. Sky in Italy claimed the Serie A club have open communications with Schalke over a potential move, but there's no agreement yet. The report goes on to highlight that there is strong competition from Liverpool for the German international. I don't know if Schalke will be too happy to do business with us after the situation with the last centre-back that we went in, took from the Ozan Kabak, who's now playing his trade, of course, at Norwich. So I don't know anything about this guy other than Schalke are shite at the minute, relegated from the Bundesliga, if my memory's correct, last season. So it doesn't mean they won't have some good players, but certainly he's not playing at the highest level right now. And do we need another centre-back? Not at the minute, but we do have to keep an eye on the situation, of course, with Nat Phillips and Joe Gomez. I'd seen a link today for Nat Phillips from Sheffield United, which I think he can play at a better level than that, if I'm being honest with you. I think Nat Phillips has made enough of the case to say that he should be a Premier League defender. Probably not in a top 6 club, granted, but I think Nat Phillips should certainly be setting aside to move to a Premier League club if he is to leave Liverpool. And as I said, the Joe Gomez situation that we touched on last night, it does seem that there is interest there from Aston Villa. One thing I'll say is there's not a chance that we will sell 2 centre-backs in January. One, I think, having brought Reece Williams back, is probably the most we'll move on. So, I don't know if there's serious interest in Thiaw. That's the first time that I have seen that one put up. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. We're still waiting for more news, if there is any more news to come, on Fabio Carvalho. The last that I've been told, it's still talking. Fulham will obviously want to keep him for the end of the season. And I just don't see why, if we are interested in him, and we are, why Liverpool don't just buy him and loan him back to Fulham for the rest of the season for the sake of £5 million. So yeah. Not much happening. Watford or Palace for Nats at Jack's page. Well, obviously, Watford now have a brand new manager. You know, Roy Hodgson has come into Watford after them sacking the Tinkerman. So yeah, look, there we go. Brewster back. Anyone? No, Levi, not for the buyback clause that we have on him anyway. We'd be paying way too much money. Craig, what do you think? Craig, what team do you enjoy watching other than Liverpool? Well, obviously for me, it's always been Barcelona, mate. That would be my second team to go and watch. Bowen or Saka, said Lee. For me, 100% Jared Bowen. 100%. I'm fully on board with signing Jared Bowen. 100%. I mean, look, it might get difficult if West Ham somehow go on a run and get a Champions League place. I don't think they will. I think they'll fall away a bit and probably finish 6th, 7th. So yeah, I'd love us to be in for Jared Bowen. I would, no doubt about it. Who do you think we should sign? I love the idea of Carvalho for varying reasons. The price, the profile, the age bracket, and the calibre of the player. So Carvalho, I think, should be a no-brainer. I've always liked Bowen or Rafinha. Doku is certainly somebody we've looked at for a long time. Midfield-wise, I'm a little bit different to others, I think. I really like Yuri Tielemans. But, and I don't want to say this. No, we said it on stream, didn't we? Yes, so we were talking, anyone who missed last night's stream with the guys from LFC Transfer Room, one telling factor that I hope gives you guys a bit of belief for once, because I know a lot of people, when I said Liverpool will sign Jude Bellingham when he leaves Dortmund, I know a lot of people think that I'm either lying or just looking to get views from it. But last night, Charlie from the LFC Transfer Room said that somebody told him, and these are different people, by the way, because he didn't tell me who it was that told him, but I certainly know it wasn't the person that told me. He was told that Liverpool are going in for Jude Bellingham in the summer. I was told the same thing. I don't know if a deal will be able to be done for next summer. I'm a little bit more on the fence about that. What I'm 100% convinced of is that whenever he leaves Dortmund, his next destination will be Liverpool. I am absolutely 100% convinced. And as I've said before, clip it, tag it, remember this, remember the other ones. It will happen. It will happen. And I am already working on the I told you so post for when it does happen, because it's going to be my crowning glory. So yeah, look, I don't know if it'll be this summer or not. I don't know who told Charlie I wouldn't push him for that information. That's his own business. But it's no accident that in a short period of time we were both told the same thing. So I don't know. Look, I hope some people start believing, but I am absolutely convinced that Bellingham is going to be a Liverpool player. I would say I'd stake my reputation on it, but I don't know if I have a fucking reputation to stake, to be honest. But I'm adamant about it. I've only said to you guys ever, watch back from the day this channel started, I've only ever said that 3 people will sign for this football club, because I'll be the first one to tell you. I don't get much information from the English side, but I do in Germany, and I've always been consistent on that. So for me, that's how I know Charlie's person was different to mine, because mine came from Germany. So for me, I think I've said Canada would sign. He did. I said Van Dijk would sign. He did, albeit I was a little bit early. I thought it would happen in that summer window, but we shit the bed with the whole, Blackpool thing, and it was pushed to January. And then Bellingham. They're the only 3 players I've told you unequivocally that they will sign for Liverpool Football Club. We do the stories like everybody else. We talk about transfer links and we talk about articles, all that stuff. But the only times I've ever actually put my nuts on a chopping board was Canada, Van Dijk, and now for Jude Bellingham. So, plus, yeah, I did already sign him on FIFA, Jen. I mean, I showed how easy it was to get it done. Craig, what do you think of the club appointing a mental health specialist? Can I be honest with everybody for a minute? And look, I'm only bringing up mental health because of this post. And I'll answer the post, but can I be honest for a sec? Can you give me like 2 minutes of your time? So, on the mental health specialist thing, brilliant. I think all football clubs should be looking to bring somebody in to help players and staff with their mental health, because, it's very, very serious, mental health. Good mental health, good sleep patterns, good eating, all that stuff is very important for a sports personality. So, for me, I had a bit of a shitty day the other day. Monday. So, I went to my GP on Monday, and I brought my wife with me because I wanted her to see what it's like what these scenarios are like. So I brought my wife with me and we went into the GP's office, and I said to my GP, look, I've been really struggling over the last few months. My shoulders and arms are tense. I have pains in my chest and arms. I'm not sleeping. I'm constantly, my stomach's churning. I've headaches. And we spoke about medication. And the medication that works for me is the likes of a relaxing tablet. So like a Valium, an Anticam, that kind of stuff. So she said, the HSE, our health service executive, told us we can't give out this type of medication. And I said, I understand that. Is there another type of medication similar that isn't maybe of the same family that they're worried about? And she said, no, not really. And I said, so what am I and other people in my situation supposed to do? You know, there are no psychiatrists and psychologists in the HSE system at the minute because it's overloaded and there's a lack of funds. And she said, and her words, not mine, the HSE don't care. They just don't care. So mental health in Ireland is a shambles. Now, this conversation went on for 10 or 15 minutes and I got a bit upset. And I've never shed a tear really in front of my wife that much at all. I got upset and I was crying a little bit because I lost hope at that point that day. I just didn't know what the fuck to do. And do you know what my doctor did? She walked over and she opened the door to the room and just said, we'll see you soon. And that was it. Left to go off into the night. And I'm lucky because I have a support system. I've got my wife, my family, friends that I can lean on and count in. But it just got me thinking, how many people will be in that situation where they have pinned their hopes on this appointment, which, by the way, this appointment took me a long time to get, and will leave there then distraught and go off and potentially self-harm. It really disturbed me. And as I said, I'm lucky that I have my wife to be here by my side, but fuck me. Honestly, I was gobsmacked by it. To hear my doctor tell me, and that's why I wanted my wife here, because she probably wouldn't believe me if I said it. They don't care. They don't care. That is shameful. Because I'll go home and I look at the TV and I see all these ads say, speak up, help up. There is no mental health help in Ireland. None. Unless you go private, which I have done many times, there's fuck all available at the minute. And when there is available, there's a waiting list. And I've heard countless stories of people who have been released or let go that have taken their own lives. And it's fucking shocking. So those in power need to get their finger out. Because I understand that doctors have a very difficult job and are working in stressful circumstances, but you can't proclaim to care about mental health and just have nothing there for people. So look, it really disturbed me and it broke my fucking heart. I still don't know what to do about it. Honestly, I still don't know what to do. But look, that's my take. And there's many more like it. So that's what I'm saying. If you are one of those people right now who are in this situation, it can be tough to look for help. But I would say to you, just don't give up. Just keep going. They're a great, like for me, there's a great charity here, local place called Talk to Tom. Amazing. Do great work. Put people in contact. But it's a lot of charities that are doing this. A lot of charities that are having to be funded, obviously, by people's donations and people's goodwill and kindness. At a time where the entire world, after being through 2 years, and I've had these problems a long time, but there are some people who will be feeling stuff they've never felt before. And I'm so worried that these people have nowhere to turn to. It breaks my fucking heart. So to those people that are out there working in these services, thank you for everything that you're doing. And we, as a society and doctors, need to get their finger out. And we need to fund these services properly so that doctors and psychiatric nurses can do their jobs. Anyway, sorry for that, but that's mad. It's mad, and it's shit. And if you've pinned your entire hopes, like, I finally got this doctor's appointment, this is my opportunity to lay my soul bare, to tell them my fears, to tell them how I'm feeling. She never even took my blood pressure. She never checked anything. She never did any medical examination on me whatsoever. None. Zip. I could have been about to stroke. Nothing was done. I don't know. Anywho, is Diaz going to Spurs now? No, John. He turned down the move and Porto turned down the offer that Spurs sent their way. So, yeah. Information on that one it's good news for us, I suppose. It's the super chat there, sorry. Craig, same happened to me in London. Exactly the same. Man, Patrick, I'm so sorry to hear that, dude. That, as I said, I'm lucky. Like, I have people around me, but I know of people who live on their own or people who don't have a support system that, wow. Well, look, what I'll say to you, Patrick, is don't give up, mate. And if you need help to look for local mental health services, charitable ones, mate, if I've spare time, I will happy help you look, my man. I promise you that much. Right, let's move it back on to football, because I'm well aware people don't tune in to listen to me whinging about mental health services. But I just thought I had to share that story, because I've had a lot of good stories in the mental health services, but none of them through the HSE, which are our health service executive. Craig, would edibles help? Serious question. I've never really been one for edibles, mate. You know, I smoke weed. I've said that time and time again. It's the only thing that's ever helped me really get to sleep, but edibles isn't really my cup of thing. Put your faith in Almighty God. I'm not a religious person, mate, so for me, you know, that's not really a help. But for people of faith, absolutely, that can certainly be a help. Would I be against us getting a backup right back? I suppose the question on the right back, mate, will come down to two things. What happens with Nico Williams? And right now, that Nico Williams situation is certainly on the fence. But the part that I think is most interesting about it is what happens to Connor Bradley. Because right now, Bradley seems to be the next in line to be the backup right back. But also we know from hearing Jurgen Klopp and coaches speak say that Connor Bradley's future yet hasn't been defined as a right back. He could become a midfield option for the Reds. So potentially, yes. Potentially we do need to bring in another right back. You shouldn't drink. I don't really drink, Kate, to be honest. I mean, that New Year's Eve drink was an anomaly for me. And when you had both my parents were alcoholics, so it's clearly in my genes, so I stay away from it as much as I can. I never knew you smoke weed. Never asked, mate. I've always been honest. Anyone who asks me a question, I answer it as honestly as I can. I won't do it on streams and that, obviously, but yeah, look, that's my way to get through life. Nkunku to Liverpool would be amazing. How do we feel about Nkunku? Genuinely, because I'm on the fence. I can definitely see some positive attributes in Christopher Nkunku that would play into the way we play football. He's versatile. He can play across the front three. He's playing at a high level for Leipzig. And there are lots of good things about him, but I don't know if it would be another just below the front three and not really somebody coming in to challenge the front three or four now with Diogo there, because I think it's fair to say right now our first choice front three are probably Diogo, Sadio and Mo right now, as impressive as Diogo has been since he's come in. Nkunku similar to Mane. Yeah, look, that's what I'm saying. There are definitely attributes about Christopher Nkunku that I can see why we'd be linked to. I absolutely can. I just wonder if it's the best option, I guess. But there are certain... That's why we keep talking about Mane here and Mane moving on over the past few streams. And I get that people get upset by the idea of Sadio Mane leaving Liverpool because of everything he's achieved at the club and because of what an important figure he's been for us. But ultimately, the reason that I keep saying I think Sadio Mane is the likely one to leave is for some of the very reasons that you guys have spoke about. I think he's the most... I would say easy to replicate, but his style of play is one that there are other players out there of a younger age that could bring in and potentially reach his level. I accept, and of course I take on board the fact that he's still third, fourth highest scorer in the Premier League, and that he's still playing at a very high level. I just don't think, with the contract situation being as it is, we're going to see him given a new deal. I don't. I could see him potentially being let to leave on a free, which I don't agree with. I would rather we cashed in if he was to be looked to move on. But I understand that there are people who would rather move Firmino on and that there are people who would like to keep all of them. What I'd say to the people who don't want us to let anybody go is we've got to move on. We've got to push on as a football club. We can't afford to have 32, 33-year-old lads and no younger forwards coming through or the pathway being blocked. So yeah, difficult decisions have to be made. I'm not making them, I'm just giving my opinion, of course. And for me, Unfortunately, I think Sadio's the most likely of the forwards to move on. Another great thing, by the way, I see people talking in the chat there. If you want to stay perfectly above the law and legal, certainly there are some great CBD products out there. New Hemp CBD, you've probably heard me mention them before. They're brilliant. I use New Hemp products as well. New Hemp do edible CBDs. Now, for people that aren't aware, CBDs are fully, there's no THC in the product. THC being the thing that gives you the high in weed. So they're all removed for it. These products are entirely legal, can be bought anywhere. But it's the quality of these products that you need to look out for. And CBD from New Hemp, top notch. Anyway, Spitch as well. Don't forget, if you haven't checked out Spitch yet, I was speaking about at the start of the stream. A couple of things you need to remember with Spitch: you can win up to 70 grand from the prize pool each week. You need to be 18 years or older and a resident of the UK. Have your ID ready when you're signing up. And yeah, that's about it on Spitch. Tonight though, 8:45, it'll be myself, Chris and Paddy, but we will be on Twitch tonight because we need to fill out the hours on there for the month. So we'll be on there, and then I'll be straight on Twitch for a FIFA stream afterwards as well. So if you haven't given Anfield Agenda a follow on Twitch yet, please do. I'm going to go another 10 minutes or so nothing left for me to do except go into the chat and see how you guys feel. Russell said Diaz is not good enough. Hand on heart, Russell, that's my inclination as well, buddy. But again, I've got to be honest and caveat that by saying I haven't seen enough of him, but I haven't been blown away with what I have seen. We love every player out there. It's very hard. 100% agree, Femba Joker. It is. It's really difficult to think about the idea of any of these lads moving on. What's going on with Diaz? So the story coming out of Portugal is that he's turned down the move to Spurs, thinks he can play at a higher level. They didn't agree a fee anyway, and he's holding out. Liverpool's perspective, according to this article, is that they're interested in Diaz, but they're willing to play the long game because they know if they sign Luis Diaz in January, he can't take part in the Champions League for us because, you know, he's already played or playing in the competition for Porto. So, you know, that makes me understand maybe if they are putting it off for the summer. Carl said Salah versus Mane final, would you do watch along? I'm going to do one game on Sunday, actually, on that, Carl, of the AFCON. Do I do the Morocco versus Egypt game at 4 o'clock, or do I do the Senegal game at 7 o'clock? I'll leave that up to you guys to pick. I'll be doing a watch along of one of them on Twitch on Sunday. I'll let you pick which one. Fabrizio Romano said Diaz hasn't refused Spurs. Okay. Craig Anthony James Zachary Houlden has told you that he has. So, tap-in merchant or the god? I'm being the god in this scenario, yeah? I'm only joking. I don't care what Fabrizio has said, mate. Fabrizio is not my stream right now. So I'm telling you that he's turned them down, and I'm telling you that he's holding out for a move to a bigger club. So take from that what you want. But Fabrizio doesn't really get much information on Liverpool transfers either, mate. Important to point that out. As good as he is, and Fabrizio's great, of course, but he's not really as up on Liverpool stuff. Morocco and Egypt, Senegal, Egypt. Senegal's more top players. See, I'll do a poll. I'll do a poll closer to it where you guys can pick which game you do watch along of. Because as always, it's your channel. We want to do what makes you guys happy. It's got to be Egypt because people just want Salah. Well, look, they're two good games. Like, that's why I'm genuinely torn about them, because there's some good players on display there. News on... Did you mean James Redmond? Is that what you're trying to say there, Rem? You said James Desmond. So what I'm aware of with James from exchanging a couple of messages is he is back working in a regular job at the minute. He has taken a bit of a break from content, I believe, but he will be back at it at some point. That's the only information I have on James, and that's as per his own post on Twitter. But yeah, the messages back and forth, I do know that he's working at the minute in a normal 9 to 5 type job. I think people don't realise how hard it is to really grind out money in this industry. It ain't as easy as... And that definitely isn't a dig at James, by the way, because he's well capable of it. He's a very talented young man. Any news on Doku? No. Actually, in hand on heart, it's been a long time since I've heard anything new on Jeremy Doku. Very long time. So, as I've always said to you guys, for me, my greatest source of any transfer information is Germany and Spain, and a little bit maybe sometimes in and around France and stuff, but certainly I've very little contacts in England. Actually, I say very little, almost none. So yeah, I haven't heard anything on Doku, nothing. Philippe, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, my man, absolute legend. Thank you for renewing your membership or signing up your membership. If you guys want to become a member of the channel, don't forget you can do so with the link in the description below. You can click the blue join button if you see that. Membership is $4.99 a month, or if you sub on Twitch, you also get access to our Discord group like the people on here. On here, you get all the emojis and stuff as well. Do you think we get Carvalho? I do, mate. I really do think we get Carvalho elite. Yes. Do we do it before the window closes this month? I'd say it's 50-50 in all honesty, but I do think he ends up at Liverpool. I do. If you're a YouTuber on YouTube, what am I on Twitch? A legend? In the making, perhaps, Jensk? Yeah, I don't know, buddy. I don't know. See, I refuse to ever use the term influencer, Jens, because, I mean, the only thing I'm really able to influence is my fat ass eating something. Really, mate, in all honesty. Dybala, 28, would he perform, said Rem. Look, Paulo Dybala is an interesting one, isn't it? Because, of course, the dude is talented. Of course he is. To say otherwise would be lying. But I don't think he would suit Liverpool. And I'm unsure if Dybala would suit the Premier League. So if I'm representing Dybala, you know, I'm saying stay in Italy or go to Spain. Never has been a real solution for mental health in Ireland. I know, Martin. I mean, to give you an example, Martin, the very first way I was able to access mental health services in Ireland was over 20 years ago. And to get the access to the mental health services, Martin, I had to ring up Orla Barry at the time, who was on News Talk, and I had to go on national radio and embarrass the HSE into getting me an appointment, because I laid bare what it was like for people trying to access the services. And within an hour, I had a phone call from the HSE and I was offered an appointment. So, mate, I know it's shocking, and it's shocking the hypocrisy of it, because they'll play, you know, they will talk about it and they will say that it's an important issue, but they won't back it financially, and they won't actually put the services there for people. Opinion on Spence as a right back up. Khalid, I won't lie, my friend, I haven't got a clue. I have not got a clue, mate. Sorry. I know you've sent a super chat, dude, and I wish I could give you more information, but I haven't got a clue. Frank Hesse would replace Gini, don't you think, Craig? No, I don't think Frank Hesse's good enough for Liverpool. I've been pretty consistent on this, and also Frank Hesse wasn't on a free. I don't think we'd be looking at him, and that means to me that he's ultimately not good enough. That's the way I look at it. So Yves Bissouma, if, you know, the situation around Bissouma's okay, far better suited. Yuri Tielemans, his contract situation at Leicester means that he can be got for probably below his market value. And that's before you look on at other midfielders, of course, who are doing the rounds. Would I take Declan Rice? I think most Premier League clubs would honestly have Declan Rice, but do I think Liverpool will ever go in for Declan Rice? No. I think the transfer fee would be way too restrictive for us. You're looking at Chelsea United probably in the long term. Thoughts on the links of Gini to Arsenal? I did see those links today, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, by the way, Killian. I forgot to mention it. So yeah, look, we know Gini Wijnaldum has never really been happy at PSG since he's joined. And there have been links doing the rounds that he could make a move back to Arsenal. And I tell you what, no jokes, no ha ha ha, chuckle. That would be a damn fine piece of business for Arsenal Football Club, because Gini Wijnaldum is the type of person that midfield needs right now. Experience, leadership, availability. Honestly, I still would have loved them at Liverpool. I wanted them to stay. But for Arsenal, that would be a good move. That would, if they could pull that off, that would be a damn good move for Arsenal Football Club. Am I going pro on FIFA and leaving us? God no, Liz. Jesus Christ, man. I'm awful at it still, Liz. But I would also be lying to you, Liz, if I didn't say I enjoyed last night's FIFA stream. The first one, not so much. Last night, I was getting into it a bit. I was having some fun. So yeah, I'll be back on the FIFA grind tonight at 10 PM on Twitch. What else we got? Thoughts on that Leon midfielder to Newcastle? Yeah, I'd seen that. Defensive midfield player. I'd seen that Newcastle were in talks there. And obviously there's the Diego Carlos situation at Newcastle. I don't get the Diego Carlos hype. I didn't get it when he was linked to us. I don't get it when he's linked to Newcastle. For me, he just reminds me of Dejan Lovren. As in, he can do really good things. He can have a great game, but he really has an error. And he is prone to a touch of the Dejans. What have we got? T said, mate, I've suffered with depression for years. I've been on medication for years. And even seen a therapist years ago, but there's very little in the UK for mental health. In your experience, I'm here, mate. I'm with you. I've been on... I don't want to lie, so I'm genuinely trying to work it out. I think I've been on... And this is a regular thing for people with mental health issues. You get trialed on a load of different medications because each medication has different side effects and reacts to people differently. So I would say, hand on heart, I'm probably on my 12th, 13th medication. And this one, it's doing okay. It's doing okay. The dose was upped. And it's doing okay. But yeah, it's here. It's have a tablet and fuck off. That's basically the way I've seen it. And for me, talk like a psychologist has always been really helpful for me. Anyway, yeah, it is shit, mate, and I'm sorry. And it's a travesty that this is the case. It is. It's a travesty, and it needs to be spoken about more. Newcastle should sign Naldini. Yeah, I mean, they really should. In all fairness, they should be looking to get Nat Phillips through the door at Newcastle. Are we signing Diaz? Said Hipster. So the story about Diaz was that the report said he turned down Spurs. He wants to play at a higher level. Liverpool are interested. Liverpool also aren't in any rush to sign him now because he can't play in the Champions League if we did sign him, and they're willing to play the long game. That's pretty much where we are with that situation. Should we go for a Camavinga? I don't know if there's any truth to that. If the truth is there that Real Madrid are surprisingly willing to sell him, and if the price tag is 50 million, then absolutely we should be in for Camavinga, as should any club with any sense about them. But I just don't see the situation of Madrid selling him for 50 million as being... Why would they? I mean, unless Carlo Ancelotti really sees something in him that he doesn't like, I'd be baffled by it. Would I take Basuma in the summer? From a footballing perspective, 100%. 100%. He was, to me, the natural replacement for Gini Wijnaldum. Now, we do know that there is another situation there with Basuma. I don't know what the current play is with that one. If it's all being cleared, he's okay, legally, all that stuff, yes, absolutely. I think Basuma's a cracking midfielder. Should go for Valverde. Ask yourself this, though, Callum, in all honesty. When's the last time we've done any business with Real Madrid or Barcelona to bring a player in? So the last ones that I can think of were Garcia on a free, where the two, I was going to call them bums, but that's a bit harsh. The two lads who were part of the Michael Owen deal. Other than that, I can't really think of too many. We need Luis Diaz. He's a beast. I don't know if he is, though, man. Not for that type of money. Like, look, ultimately, if we sign Luis Diaz, I will have every faith that he is the man, because I have every faith in our recruitment staff, 100%. You know, and they're certainly better judging the player than I am. But what I've seen, he hasn't blown me away yet. But that doesn't mean, like, I'll be honest, I didn't think Mo Salah was going to do what he did. I don't think any of us really did. I didn't even think that Diogo Jota, I thought it was a good sign, but I didn't think he would be as impactful as he has. So, look, whoever Jurgen Klopp and the staff want, they'll get it right. I mean, I have every belief in that. If it's Luis Diaz, I've no doubt Luis Diaz will be a success. Alex, you did change your name. Nice one. Luis Diaz has 90 pace on FIFA. Okay. I don't know where to go with that one, dude. Right, look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leg it because it's only an hour until we're back on Twitch. So, 8:45 tonight, myself, Chris and Paddy will be on Twitch for another Late Night Agenda, and then I'll follow that on. I'll be doing another Twitch FIFA stream. So again, get yourselves over to Twitch. It is free. I want to put that out there because I know some people think you need to pay for Twitch. You don't. It's entirely free. The link to the stream tonight with myself, Chris and Paddy is pinned to the top of the live chat. Yeah, we will talk to you guys soon. Shout out to our sponsor of this, Spitch, as well. Don't forget, the link to download Spitch is in the description below. It's a fantasy manager game where you can win up to 70 grand from the prize pool each week. You do need to be 18 years or over to enter, a resident of the UK, and make sure you have your ID ready for the sign-up process. Right, love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.